What is re-aging debt? How does it happen and how can you avoid it? Imagine you have an old credit card debt that you haven't paid for several years. You haven't heard from the creditor or debt collector in a while and you assume that the debt is no longer a concern. However, out of the blue, you receive a letter from a debt collector attempting to collect the debt. You wonder, how is this debt resurfaced after so long? Once the statute of limitations on a debt has passed, it becomes challenging for creditors to legally enforce collection. The statute of limitations sets the maximum amount of time creditors or debt collectors have to sue debtors for payments. After this period elapses, creditors lose their legal right to pursue legal action to collect the debt. For instance, let's say you have an unpaid credit card debt, and the statute of limitations in your state is 6 years. If the last activity on the debt occurred more than 6 years ago, the creditor cannot sue you for payment. While the debt may still appear on your credit report, and debt collectors may attempt to collect it through other means, they can't take legal action against you once the statute of limitations has passed. Therefore, creditors often face significant hurdles in collecting debts once the statute of limitations has expired. They can't force repayment through the courts, making it more challenging for them to recover the money owed. This limitation underscores the importance of understanding the statute of limitations applicable to your debts and being aware of your rights as a consumer. However, you may inadvertently reset the statute of limitations by what is known as re-aging debt. Understanding re-aging debt. Re-aging debt refers to the process by which the clock on the statute of limitations for a debt is reset, potentially allowing creditors to pursue collection actions for a longer period. Here's how it happens and how you can avoid it. 1. Making a partial payment. Let's say you decide to make a small payment towards that old credit card debt, thinking it might help improve your credit situation. However, by doing so, you inadvertently reset the statute of limitations on the debt. Even a small payment can restart the clock on how long the creditor has to sue you for the debt. 2. Acknowledging the debt. If you acknowledge the debt, either by admitting to owning it or promising to pay, it can also reset the statute of limitations in some states. This acknowledgement can occur through verbal communication, in writing, or even by making a payment towards the debt. 3. Agreeing to new terms. Suppose a debt collector offers you a payment plan or a settlement offer, and you agree to it without fully understanding the consequences. In that case, it may reset the statute of limitations, giving the creditor more time to pursue collection actions. 4. Incorrect reporting. Sometimes creditors or debt collectors may inaccurately report the date of the last activity on the debt. This incorrect reporting can make the debt appear newer than it actually is, potentially allowing for re-aging. Here are some tips to avoid re-aging debt. 1. Know your rights. Understand the statute of limitations for debts in your state to know when creditors can no longer sue you for the debt. 2. Communicate carefully. Be cautious when communicating with creditors or debt collectors to avoid inadvertently acknowledging the debt. 3. Verify the debt. Request validation of the debt if you're contacted about an old debt to ensure its accuracy and legitimacy. 4. Be wary of payment arrangements. Before agreeing to any payment arrangements or settlement offers, understand how they may affect the statute of limitations. 5. Monitor your credit report. Regularly check your credit report for inaccuracies and dispute any discrepancies with the credit bureaus. 6. Seek legal advice. If you're unsure about how to handle a particular debt, consider consulting with a consumer rights attorney for guidance. By being aware of how re-aging debt works and taking proactive steps to protect yourself, you can avoid resetting the statute of limitations on old debts and safeguard your financial well-being.